You know, every election has this built-in tension, right? We need to be able to see what's going on, to trust the results. That's transparency. But at the same time, your vote is your secret. It has to be private. It's a real paradox, isn't it? Well, today we're going to dive into a system that tries to crack that very code.
So here it is, the million-dollar question. Can an election really be perfectly transparent and completely anonymous at the same time? I mean, how on earth do you build a system where you can check every single vote, make sure it's all legit, but without ever finding out who voted for whom? That's exactly the challenge the G2 election system is built to solve.
Okay, so to really get how this thing works, let's just follow a single vote from start to finish. We're going to trace its entire journey. And it all kicks off the second a voter walks into the polling station and a totally unique ballot is born, just for them.
First things first, it's all about security. Before you can even touch a ballot, you have to verify who you are at a biometric machine. This is super important because it locks in that fundamental rule of any fair election: one person, one vote. Simple as that. The machine won't even print a ballot until it knows for sure that a real, registered voter is standing right there.
All right, so once you're verified, the machine zips out this physical ballot paper with perforations, like a ticket stub. But here's the cool part. This is no ordinary ballot. Think of it as a smart ballot. It's split into 3 different sections, and they're all tied together by a temporary, totally random number that was created just for you, just for this one vote.
So let's break down what these 3 parts actually are. First, you've got the candidate list. Pretty straightforward, right? That's where you mark your choice. Second, there's a unique QR code. You can think of this as the ballot's digital fingerprint. It's one of a kind. And third, you have a serial slip. This little piece is your proof, your personal receipt that you were there and you voted. And believe me, each one of these parts has a totally different and very important job to do.
Okay, so you've got this special 3-part ballot in your hand. Now you head into the next critical zone, the voting booth. This is where the magic happens. It's where you officially cast your vote. And, this is key, it's also where your vote is permanently cut off from your identity.
And let me tell you, this is not just some flimsy curtain. We're talking about a secure room. To get in, you have to do another biometric scan, and you scan on the way out too. The whole thing is covered by CCTV. It basically creates this secure bubble, which guarantees you're the only one in there for your turn, and it makes sure the whole process is watched, at least from an entry and exit point of view.
So, you've made your choice, you've marked the ballot. Now comes probably the most important physical act in this entire system. You literally tear the ballot apart along those perforated lines. This is the exact moment, the cut, where your vote becomes anonymous. It's separated from its digital ID and from that personal receipt you're going to keep. And this separation is absolutely the key, because now each of those 3 pieces goes on a completely different journey. Your vote, now totally anonymous, gets scanned and dropped into the ballot box. And yes, that's all recorded on what they call a vote video. Meanwhile, the QR code is scanned all by itself, creating a digital record that this ballot existed, and that's filmed too. And that third piece, the serial slip, well, that one's for you. You put it in your pocket and take it home.
Okay, so we've got all these separate pieces and separate videos. How does all this clever tiering and scanning actually deliver on that big promise we talked about at the start, being both anonymous and transparent? Let's dig into how the system pulls off this balancing act.
This is really the heart of the whole system, 2 sides of the same coin. On the public side, to keep you anonymous, your vote gets tossed into a giant pot with everyone else's. The results only come out in big hourly batches, so no one can pinpoint your specific vote. But on the private side, you have that little serial slip in your hand. That's your personal key to check that your session, the act of you voting, was recorded correctly. Public anonymity, private verification.
Right, so let's get specific on how they publish the results, because this is crucial for anonymity. The system never ever says, hey, a vote for candidate A just came in at the downtown library. No way. Instead, it waits for a full hour, bundles up all the votes from all the polling centers everywhere, and then it just releases a big cumulative number. Something like, okay, over the last hour, candidate X's total count went up by 5,000 votes. By lumping everything together like that, it's literally impossible to connect the time you walked in with the vote you cast.
And this brings us to what might be the most powerful idea in this whole design. The system doesn't just ask you to trust the officials to get it right. No, it actually flips the script and turns every single voter, including you, into an auditor.
Remember that little piece of paper you took home, the serial slip? It's not just a souvenir of your civic duty, it's a key. It's your direct personal link into the system's records. It connects that physical stub in your hand to the digital event that was created when your QR code got scanned.
And here's how you actually use it. You just pull out your phone, open a simple app, and type in that unique serial number from your slip. Now, it's not going to show you who you voted for. That's the anonymous part, remember? But it will show you proof that your vote was processed. It'll confirm the time, the location, and give you a big, "Yep, successfully registered." You get to see with your own eyes that the system did its job for your specific session.
So, being able to check your own vote is incredibly powerful, for sure. But that's just one piece of a much, much bigger security puzzle. The entire system is basically wrapped in this massive security net, a net that has 4 different independent layers of evidence. Think about that. For every single person who votes, the system creates 4 separate video records to prove what happened. This isn't an accident. It's a deliberate, multi-layered approach that creates this unbelievably strong audit trail. If one record fails or is questioned, you still got 3 others to back it up. There's no single point of failure.
Okay, so what are these 4 videos exactly? Let's tick them off. 1. The general CCTV footage that shows you walking in and out of that secure room. 2. A camera pointed right at the scanner that records your serial slip being processed. 3. Another camera just for the QR code scan. And 4. The vote video, which just shows the anonymous ballot paper itself being dropped into the box. 4 angles, 4 pieces of proof.
But wait, here's the real genius move. It's not just that they have 4 videos. The truly brilliant part is who holds them. These 4 video streams aren't all saved in one place. Nope. They're immediately sent to 4 completely separate, independent organizations. Think about that. No single person, no single group has all the pieces of the puzzle.
And this table just lays it all out perfectly. You see that separation of power in action. The verification office gets the CCTV footage of people coming and going. The complaints office gets the serial number footage. The recount office holds the digital QR records, and the local polling office has the video of the anonymous ballots. It's literally a system of checks and balances, but it's built into the technology itself.
So you're probably wondering, when do all these separate pieces of evidence ever get put together? Well, it only happens in one specific situation. If a voter, if you, files a formal complaint because you checked your serial number and something looks wrong, your complaint is the one and only key that can unlock and bring all that data together. It means your privacy is the absolute default setting.
And all of this brings us to a really fascinating final thought. A system like this completely changes the game. It moves away from just asking voters to, well, trust that everything is okay behind the scenes. Instead, it gives them the power, the tools to actively verify it for themselves. So I'll leave you with this question. If every single citizen is an auditor, holding a piece of the proof right in their own hand, does that fundamentally change how we trust our elections, and maybe even democracy itself?